Let's review the steps for multiplying fractions. Our problem that we will be working on today is 4/5 times 10/12. Since multiplying and dividing fractions do not require common denominators, our first step to multiplying fractions is to cross-simplify. This is an optional step. In cross-simplification, you simply look at the numerator and denominator that are diagonal from each other or crossed from each other. And you will look for common factors. In the case of 4 and 12, I can look to see what factors do they have in common. So for instance, I can tell that the factors of 4 are 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. The factors of 12 are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Those are the numbers that multiply together to get 12. So I can easily see that my common factors are, we're not going to consider 1, because anything times 1 is 1. It won't be reduced. I can see that there's 4, and I can also see that there's 2. I'm going to want to use the highest or the greatest common factor, which is 4. So in my problem, 4 goes into 4 one time, and 4 goes into 12 3 times. I can do the same thing for 5 and 10. So in this example, the factors of 5 are 1 times 5, and the factors of 10 are 1 times 10 and 2 times 5. My greatest common factor in this example is 5, so I will use that. 5 goes into 5 one time, and 5 goes into 10 2 times. So my new fraction is now 1 times 2 over 1 times 3. Then step 2 is to multiply the numerators and the denominators. So 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. Step 3 is to simplify. I can see that 2/3 is already simplified, so I am done. If I choose not to cross-simplify, then I will go directly into multiplying the numerators and the denominators. So in this particular problem, I simply multiply straight across. 4 times 10 is going to equal 40, and 5 times 12 is going to equal 60. Step 3 is to simplify. I can see 40 and 60 can easily be simplified by tens. So I would divide the top or the numerator by 10, and I would divide the denominator by 10, because 10 over 10 is equal to 1. When I do this, 40 divided by 10 equals 4, and 60 divided by 10 equals 6. I'm going to check again. I can see that 4 and 6 are both even numbers, so it can still be simplified. I'm going to work down here. So 4 and 6 are both even numbers, which means that they are divisible by 2. So I can divide both the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator, by 2. So 4 divided by 2 equals 2, and 6 divided by 2 equals 3. To review, the steps for multiplying fractions are 1. To cross-simplify, which is optional. If you choose not to do this, you will have to do it at the end. Step 2. Multiply the numerators and denominators. And then lastly, simplify your fraction.